Is this weekend too cool for the pool? It's a long question, right? A very long answer to that. And of course, people will try to defy the odds. But of course, we are tracking those cooler than average temperatures by about 15 degrees into your Memorial Day weekend. It's going to take some showers to get there, some of which we're seeing on radar this morning, or I guess this afternoon now that it is 12:02. We're not tracking anything quite like we were yesterday, because yesterday, that first alert weather day, was a soaking rain. Came in several rounds. It brought in a couple of different storm reports west of the area out towards Indianapolis. We'll do a quick recap on that as well as what's to come, which the main weather story for now is going to be the breezes. With these clouds, you got some showers. It's just kind of dreary today, tomorrow. We will start to notice a bit more sun heading into your Memorial Day weekend, but the chill sticks around. So Memorial Day may be too cool for the pool this weekend, but don't worry, back to seasonal next week and then some. We're seeing ample dry time into next week. That does include your Memorial Day itself. We will touch on the entire weekend as a whole in 19 at noon. So right now, just some decent cloud cover. It's kept those temperatures from getting pretty warm. We're seeing the mid 60s, a decent breeze out of the west, but because it's not exactly chilly outside, we don't see a wind chill with this. Humidity, relatively okay. Don't really have too much to worry about in that department, but the wind's definitely going to be jostling you around a little bit. These are the sustained winds. So we've got those sustained about 25 miles per hour up towards Wilmington. Not surprising considering it's a lot flatter that direction. And that's where we'll find a little bit more of those wind gusts closer to 30, maybe even 40 miles per hour. Just can't rule it out. Nothing that's going to need to cancel any plans or anything of that nature, but definitely a noticeable stepping out the door. So look ahead here on our first alert forecast model, 35, maybe a 40 mile per hour wind gust heading into the afternoon today. Tomorrow, you'll notice it as well, just a little less. We're seeing those wind gusts peak around 30 miles per hour as well. So another thing you got to consider with all this going on is we are tracking just a little bit of rain in the forecast. And I mean a little bit, especially if you compare it to yesterday, in which we saw inches of rain in several rounds. Well, we just have some light showers in this forecast. You see that right now, just out to the east is what we dealt with this morning. The cooler air will swirl around that low, bringing in the cooler temperatures, surprise, surprise, but also you see that moisture up towards Wisconsin right here on the satellite and radar image. It's going to try to come into our area because it's going to be cooler. Cooler air just cannot hold as much moisture with it, and so that's why we're seeing such cloudy skies right now, and that's why we're going to be seeing some rain that's associated with it, with that as well. But because it's cool, we're not seeing too much of a risk for thunderstorms into the extended forecast, which is good because if you look at this, I mean, this is the storm reports for the last 2 days, I should say. Almost 2,000 official reports from the National Weather Service from that system. The system that I just showed you brought in, I mean, most of these are going to be those wind reports, but in it, of course, you have those tornadoes, you have hail, you have even some snow out there towards the Rockies, but generally speaking, it's a lot quieter by default today. Temperatures, they're not going to budge too much from where they're at right now. It's going to make a run for 70. Some of us not going to quite get there. It's a 68 for your forecast high today here in the Queen City. Those clouds are kind of working overtime, but that's good. It keeps our temperatures tomorrow morning from dropping too cold. It's still going to be a little cool in the low 50s, especially the farther north you go. It's kind of dependent on the cloud cover, but generally speaking, just have the jacket at the ready. So let's talk about the bigger picture here, because while we do see a little bit more warmth after Memorial Day weekend, it's not a big jump into the last week of May, is it? I mean, look at this. These are the high temperatures, the forecast high temperatures over the next 7 days. Now tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I mean, every day this week is going to be cooler than average, but especially this next stretch of 4 to 5 days, we're likely not going to hit the 70s in spots, or at least struggle to get there, especially a Friday. That's when we have not only a cool afternoon, but a pretty chilly morning in which some of us are going to be dropping into the upper 30s as those skies start to clear out a little bit. The good news of the mid 60s for this Memorial Day weekend, the silver lining, if you will, is that we're not tracking a ton of rain. There is a small opportunity early in the day on Sunday, so maybe try to adjust your Memorial Day weekend plans if you can, just to accommodate for those rain showers Sunday morning. But it's not looking like a washout. In fact, we are seeing a little bit more of a warmer trend into actual Memorial Day. It's still cooler than average, though. We don't see us climbing back into normal until closer to June, guys. So kind of an abnormal end to May, if you will. And it's because of the several rounds of rain that we've been seeing and we will continue to see. So let's look ahead here in this first alert forecast model. Very light rain, and that's if you get it, right? It's mainly geared towards the northern part of our viewing area, just north of 275. Now Thursday, a little bit of an exception. I think some of that rain does try to break through into the early afternoon into counties like Claremont, Brown, Adams, even Hamilton County, northern Kentucky. I mean, good. Kentucky really received the worst of the storms over the last few days. I think you guys are more than likely going to dodge these wraparound rain showers, these cold rains, if you will, at least for the next 2 days. And then we'll start to notice some clearer skies trying to come back into the forecast area by your Memorial Day weekend. But we're not seeing an entirely dry weekend. That's the difference heading in to, say, Sunday. Yeah. This kind of is giving you an idea of that the morning is going to be a little bit more rainy, especially south of Cincinnati, where we have the yellows, the deeper, the goldenrods, if you will, just towards Louisville. Heavier rain seen that direction, but it's not going to last all day. It's just dependent on how far north this warm air is able to travel, in which we could see some light rain in our northern counties, or you could get no rain, but those down towards Maysville, Falmouth, Pendleton County, that area, could get a decent amount of rain. And that's just for a little part of your Sunday. Memorial Day, you can see here, is looking dry. So the next 7 days, just buckle in for some chilly, some cloudy conditions, especially for the near-term forecast. I mean, not only are we seeing these cooler afternoons, but the mornings. Have you forgotten what 43 degrees feels like? Have you forgotten what 40 degrees feels like? You won't forget too much later. You'll be sorely reminded as we head into Friday, in which the Reds are back at home. They're playing the Cubs this Memorial Day weekend. Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be watching for some scattered rain showers on Sunday morning. Yeah, maybe a few rumbles of thunder coming on in there, but I think it's mainly just going to be rain. Memorial Day itself, a slim rain chance, and that's just to cover our margin of error, if you will, because as we head into next week, we will start to notice a little bit more showers in that forecast as well, at least for Tuesday. So yeah, it's kind of a dreary end to May, not exactly the best forecast for you guys, but at least with the absence of heat, absence of tropical humidity, absent of the severe weather, things start to calm down in that department. Absolutely. Go ahead and address some questions. Yeah, Jennifer, I just clarified that for you. I'll take the cooler weather if it means no severe storms. I think at this point we all should, not for the well-being of us, but the well-being of others as they start to pick up the pieces, quite literally the pieces left behind from the devastating storms over the last several rounds. Definitely a really, really painful pictures to see. I'm not seeing any other questions coming on in on Facebook, and I don't want to overstay my welcome. It is 12:11. We'll be keeping a pretty close eye on that rain for Sunday just because it's a high impact weekend. Lots of people, whether you want to, I don't know, head to KI, you got a barbecue, bust out the grills. It's not necessarily going to be pool weather, but I know some people are going to try. Again, let me know if you're able to do that. Would love. I mean, I want a pool. I want a pool day. Who doesn't want a pool day for Memorial Day weekend? Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. All right. I'll go ahead and sign off here. I'm in Queensgate. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. It is 12:12. Brad Mousehart will have the latest model data coming in on FOX19 at 3.